Hi traders, welcome back to another trade recap. So yesterday is technically not yesterday, it was actually Thursday and Friday, which was 25th and 26th. I had a pound yen short position, held it overnight till Friday, and for both these 2 days I secured about $23,000 plus. So let me just try to pull on the history for all of you. So do bear in mind I'm using my MacBook now, so I can't really zoom in my face and show all of you the P&L. The only thing I can say was it was just to show all of you. You can actually see it was $23,000 day, and if you zoom out, there's 5 positions in total: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First top 3 was pound yen, bottom 3 was pound dollar and gold. Right, so that's pretty much it for the proof. Let's go into the first position, which was pound yen. Before we jump onto pound yen, there's one thing I would like to say is JPYs have been absolute on a all-time low. I was having way too much expectation. Before we get into pound yen recap, I would like to clarify this. It was my problem that I wasn't able to adapt or believe that yen index is going to just keep offering lower price. This thing has been dropping since 2023 April. Look at here, 2023 March, right? Since March last year, it's been dropping all the way down, and there's no sign of pullback. There is zero indication of strength. So because of this, I'm still sort of like, hey, is it really going to drop? And there were times I was trying to catch the low, but it just failed. And overall, yeah, I just have to admit that I was having way too much expectation on pound yen. Going to the chart, pound yen is a simple trade setup. All you can see on the daily, maybe on the daily, we're at that previous key all-time high at 188.40. Then yeah, when price was there, there was a few indication that market wasn't going to continue further. If I put on replay mode, you can actually see that. First thing, price formed a equal high rejection, or what we call a double top at 188.90, reversed pretty hard, massive flush to the downside. I think that was probably due to news. Then price come back, formed another intermediate resistance at right here at 188.32, come back, drop all the way down, pull back, drop, fail, confirming that it's failing at 188.33. Then the next time when it pull back, I know, hey, I don't think price is going to break the high, and that's the main reason why I was looking for sell. So the only area for me to sell was here at 188.05, because price has already failed at 188.33. There's one concept I always highlight in the 1%ers trade club. Within the community, I always tell my members, if price has confirmed a rejection at a specific level, under a healthy and normal circumstance, we don't expect price to go back to that area anymore. Because imagine if today you're looking to sell a trend. When you're looking to short something, you want to sell a resistance. When price has already tested a resistance and it dropped all the way down, what's the thumb rule of a healthy downtrend? Is it's going to form low high, continue to drop. Right? If price is going back to the high, drop, going back to the high, drop, that's either a failure or either just a range. Maybe it's a range, right? So I told them we're looking for potential sell around 188.05. And if we look at the 15-minute, you can actually see that we have formed a resistance, and that's the main reason why I took the TPF entry. Some of you, if you're watching this from YouTube, you may not know a TPF entry is basically an entry pattern that we use in the 1%ers trade club. One of the entry trigger pattern that we utilize the most inside our trade club. Then it just dropped, and I got to admit this, the management on this was bad. It was really, really bad. I could have managed this a lot better. You can actually see the low of the point. The lowest point was actually 5.3R. The max reward, unrealized reward on this trade was 5.3R. But I let a 5.3R pulled all the way to my trail stops at 1.21R. So it was pretty bad. At one point, this position was up about $14,000 to $15,000, and pulled all the way back to only about. If I were to show all of you, it was a painful process, but we're here to learn. Right? I normally, when I make mistakes like this, when I'm being too, you can actually see that. You see, because I'm using a MacBook, so the screen is very small. I have to really put it in front to show all of you. At one point, all these three together, they were up about I think approximately 15,000, but I let all these positions turn back into a really small one, and all of you have to know there's swap B's inside all these three as well. So it was very, very bad. So just really, really bad. Yeah, so just a poor management on this one. Eventually price just, so what's the main reason why price reversed was I knew that price has a potential that it won't break the low, but I still hold the position. So you see price eventually test at 187.40, then it just reverse all the way up. So just poor management. Then let's move on to the next one. So it turns out to be either a long-term bull flag or a range. Next one is pound dollar. Pound dollar was totally unexpected and turns out to be one of the best runner of the day on Friday. So if you look at the 4 hour, pound dollar has been the complete opposite of it's not the opposite, but it's almost similar to pound yen. Is strong for the past few months, I'll say. You see, since 31st of October, we pushed up, high low, higher low, higher low, equal low, higher low. So right now, pound dollar is basically in a wide range. So when I was trading pound dollar, I was expecting more strength because although price is on a wide range, but overall, there's one thing that all of you have to identify is we are forming high low. You see, we have an equal low rejection. We have high low formed at 126.55, and that's the main reason why I say, hey, pound dollar is still strong. And one area that I was monitoring closely was this area, 126.89. So inside our trade club, we always study range from different perspective. There's a wide range or overall the bigger picture range. Also the intermediate resistance and intermediate support, or sometimes I call them an inside range. So there's two ways you can make money in trading a range setup. For me, either you can just trade the extreme, which is trade the high of the range or low of the range. In this case, what are the high of the range on pound dollar? 127.83 and also 126.18. So these are the high of the range, low of the range. These two are what we call the extremes inside our trade club. Then we also have the intermediate resistance formed at 127.57, intermediate support formed at 126.90. Alright, because how do I know it's intermediate resistance, intermediate support? Is because you see there were a lot of times where price didn't go back to that extreme or high of the range and it just dropped. Same thing here, dropped. Same thing here, you see, pushed up, you see, pushed up. So when I was really, after I got trailed out on pound yen, price was actually right here. I was really monitoring the pound reaction. I said, hey, there's a massive reversal from the prior low, which was here. And also just now we say that there's an intermediate support here at 126.85. Then price pumped. So my biggest thought process at that time was, is it really going to pump? And it feels like it is. Why? Because you see, within this support at 126.85, there's also another high support at 127.05. And if you drop down to 2 minute, what do we see here? A bull flag. So I entered based on the bull flag and with a fairly tight stops, 8 pips, 7 pips, and it just pushed all the way up. Pretty clean. And I in fact closed my position here not at the absolute high. It was because when price was back to the prior high at 127.40, I thought that hey, it's going to break. But when price pulled back, I tell myself, hey, maybe it's it's not a very good choice to hold this all the way up, because deep down in my heart, I keep thinking that pound dollar is going to push all the way back to the extreme, which is 127.80. And that's why at that point, I even asked my wife, and my wife told me, hey, just close the position, don't be greedy. And I was thinking, hey, yeah, maybe let's just close the position, secure about 5.8 R instead of being so cocky. And also at the same time, another main reason why I wanted to close the trade, and also my wife, because my wife also trade a little bit. So also another reason why she told me to close the position, it was because there was a PCE news. Yeah, if you look at the Forex Factory, there's a core PC price index at 230. So yeah, at that point was when we decided that maybe I'll just close full position here, 5.8 R, and eventually reversed all the way down. If I were to not close the position, this would have been a disaster. So very nice close on that one, just to show all of you, sometimes in a range, price do reverse from intermediate level, which is what we call the inside range. Within the range, there's no guarantee that price will push all the way up to the extreme, which is the high of the range or low of the range. So you got to be careful with your management. After closing up pound dollar, I was pretty confident that I think probably some of the counter dollar pairs are going to drop, as the DXY, if you look at the DXY on the 4 hour, DXY was gaining strength. So I looked at the gold on the 1 hour perspective and say, hey, pretty simple. We have price drop all the way down. Inside our trade club, we've been saying that gold has been weakening for the past 1 month. Right? Since January, we've been weakening, and price, in fact, you see, one of the easiest way inside our trade club we use to identify a trend is we see the high, low high, low high, low high, and that's what we call a failure. If market is strong, if buyers are really there, if buyers are in control, they will ultimately form equal high or even high high. The fact that we keep failing to revisit the high or even form the high high is telling us that we are weakening. So low high, low high, low high, complete flush. This flush absolutely just showed that we are in a massive downtrend, sellers are in control. So what I did was pretty simple. I just shorted at the prior resistance at 2025.37. Stop loss about 25 pips. It was pretty close to my stop loss, not that close, maybe 40% more to my stop loss. Then it dropped all the way down 2R. So if you're wondering why am I having a conservative target, it was because it's Friday, just want to call it a day. All right, so it was a really fast trade. Basically just my entry was there and just dropped. So that's pretty much it for the recap on this one, and I hope all of you enjoy the video. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.